Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I am here with another layout for the album of my husband and I dating. I'm going back and finishing up that album. And today I am using a sketch from the Ready Sketch Go class that is run by Jen Scow and Clacy. Nope, that's not her name. Tracy Claiborne. And I am going to use a sketch for this one today. And I am making it an 8.5 by 11 because that is the size of our album, and I only have a couple more. I think this one and one more, and then my dating album is complete, guys, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, so I'm using a couple layers of these pattern papers here. The basic gray was the bottom one there that I cut down to 8.5 by 11, and then I have this one right here, and then I have this piece of paper that I believe is from Dear Lizzie from American Crafts, and I really like these frames, so I'm gonna cut out a few of these frames here and use them as a design element on the page. So I'm just going to cut them out of this little piece of paper, and I think I got that from a paper pad. Maybe it was the Best of American Crafts or something that you can get at Hobby Lobby. And so I'm going to use a couple of these. This was just in my scraps bin. So I'm just going to cut these out. And I'm going a little bit along the lines here. They're kind of wonky frames. They're not perfectly straight. So I'm just kind of going along with what the design is. So picked some yellow and a couple of neutrals here too. And then I'm going to cut down some other papers for layering elements. And I think I'll pull a couple of papers from a little 6x6 paper pad folder that I have sitting by my desk as well. Okay, so this paper here I'm going to cut down. I'm just going to mark where I want it. It's going to be my big layering piece. And I don't know the manufacturer on that one. I want to say maybe it's October Afternoon. I'm not sure. It's a very old piece of paper. I do know that. But I'm going to stick everything down and see how I like it. And then I'm going to pull out, this is my little folder of 6x6 scraps basically, or just little teeny tiny scraps that I don't want to get lost in my big scraps bin, so I stick them in there. I do want to start pulling that out more often actually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start sticking everything down because I like the way everything's starting to look. I'm going to try to keep the little sayings on these frames visible if I can. And yeah, okay, so here's the story behind this picture. My husband had some hair. He had some hair, and it was fantastic. If you don't know, my husband is half white, half African American. So he has just this crazy ringlet curly hair when he's able to grow it out. Since he's in the military, he can't really grow it out. But when he did have hair in college, it was just like that, and it kind of froed up a little bit sometimes, and it was awesome. So I wanted to do a page about it because, you know, we always talk about his hair in college, and no one believes that he has crazy hair, and I'm like, oh yeah, he does. He just can't, you know, grow it out right now. So I was using this picture to document that story since his hair is kind of all over the place in this one. So I'm using these stickers called Fitzgerald, and these are a gold glitter, and I spelled that hair though. And I abbreviated though to THO because that's kind of how people spell it with the slang that they use. But when I put it down, I didn't really like it, and I'm going to end up changing it to actually spell the word out. It felt better that way. So I just didn't want people in the, you know, the future to look at it and be like, this woman cannot spell, just because they didn't understand the slang behind it. But it wasn't that important to me. So I will actually spell out the word, you know, THOUGH. And I do have to shift everything over because it ends up being a little bit too long, and I wanted it to go straight across the picture. So I'm just going to shift everything over. That's the beauty of these foam thickers. You can easily pull them up and move them over. They won't rip your stuff, and they will still stay after that. I think that foam thickers are my favorite to work with. So I'm shifting everything over, and then my title is done. I like that much better. And then I am going to add a flare badge that I saw, and it was just sitting in my flare bucket sitting on my desk and it said wild and free, and I was like, perfect, and it's a gold. So I thought that was great, so I added that in there. And then I'm going through just some random stuff on my desk, guys. I did not pull much for this layout at all except the papers, and I just pulled random things that I could reach from my desk. So this has some stuff that is just kind of at the end of its life and things I wanted to kind of use up quickly. So I have that yellow bow. I pulled that gold heart circle glitter thing. I'm going through this little bucket here that just has some random stuff, like just all the random things. So I have that transparent butterfly, and then a row of enamel pearls that are a yellow color. So I'm going to use my tiny attacher and attach the butterfly to this frame. And I wanted to make sure I put at least one thing in every frame here. And I'm going to end up grabbing a die cut pack, some die cuts, and I'm going to add a couple things from those in there on that bottom frame too. So I'm pointing at it because I'm like, I need something here. And I'm looking around, nothing's really jumping out at me from what I can see. So I'm going to grab my die cuts and just take a look through a few of these boxes and see if there's anything that I want to use. And I do end up finding a couple of things. So I'm going to grab, this is my die cut box, and I am going to grab one that has labels in it, and there's like purple, or sorry, purple, a yellow arrow there. So I'm going to use that. And then I'm going to just go through, I don't know how many I go through, not very many. And then I find something that I can use on here as well. So I'm just kind of shifting through everything. What can I use? What can I use? What's going to look good? What's going to make sense? You know. So I go through a couple, and I think I find one in here, and I'm trying to remember what it says. Yes, wild at heart is what it says. And I don't want to use the floral because there's no, you know, blue or pink or anything else on here, and I don't want to introduce those colors, but I'm gonna cut out the little area here that says wild at heart, and it has a couple staples on it. So I'm going to just use that, and I'm going to layer it on top of here, and that works perfectly. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my journaling. I'm going to do it on top of my title here and just talk about how his hair was crazy, and I loved his hair. I loved running my fingers through it, and I loved how different it looked every day depending on how he styled it and that he was able to style it. And yeah, I just loved it. That was definitely one of the things that I just loved about him. And definitely Kaylin gets her hair from him. If you guys remember seeing pictures of Kaylin, she's got crazy curly hair. So she got that from him. Layla got mine. Layla's a super straight, and so is mine. So that's pretty funny. All right, I'm going to use up these pearls here I'm going to use up all of them here. And that uses that up. So I'm getting through a couple little things. So I'm excited about that. And that's going to complete this layout, guys. So nice and simple, goes really quickly because it is an 8.5 by 11, and it's something to put in our dating album. And that's going to be it for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day. Bye.